I don't have shit that went right. I only have stuff that I want to talk about that went
Well, take it away.
stuff that went wrong.
Yeah, sure. Why
Well,
not? That's all
there's
you
I
got.
mean there's two things that I wanted to talk about that are I feel like are glaring. One's offense, one's defense. They're glaring issues that I feel like the rest of the league are starting to take notice of, and like looking like the Chiefs are starting to crack. So like the 10-1 record looks great outside looking in, but from the inside, I have a little bit of doubt as far as the postseason comes. But on defense,
This
something that
guy.
we listen. I'm being
Cynic.
hypercritical. Being
Cynic.
hypercritical on defense, something that I feel has been effective for us all season that did not go well for us this game was when we were required to blitz. Third downs, long passing downs, when Spags was coming after Bryce Young was standing in there and making tough throws. So if you have to take a couple of hits from the Chiefs to get some first downs in some tight spots, like there's film out from the Carolina Panthers that like you can burn us when we come after you. So there were some big throws made by Bryce Young. A couple of them being on third down situations where Spags was sending the house,
He was
and
11 for 14 against the blitz.
yeah, it did not hit home. So Spags hopefully is a veteran enough coach to fix some issues, switch some things up, not be, um, I guess, as textbook Spags as you can. You have to be, as I just said a little bit ago, ahead of the game. Okay, we got to be innovative. We gotta we gotta know the film that's out there and start showing some different looks based off the film that's out there.
Well,
Set
that's the
them up,
problem with all of
set
that.
them up.
We cannot get pressure with four. So the blitzes are just way too predictable at this point. I think getting Charles Minihue back is going to change a lot of that for us.
I don't understand what Spax is necessarily doing. I obviously missing out on a Minihue. Definitely the pressure is an issue. The only guy who can create pressure on this defensive line is Chris Jones, and he's doing all of it. George
Karlaftis was
Karloftis
doing
is
it
doing
early in the season, but like it's
early in the
certainly
season,
dropped
but like
off.
he's done nothing the last 5, 6, 7 weeks. Mike Dana has done nothing pre or post the injury that he missed out a couple weeks on. Tershawn Wharton is doing nothing, especially comparative to what he's done the last couple years on an undrafted free agent contract. I mean, it's the defensive line is really poor, and what I hate to see is that Joshua Uche is getting zero time out there. He's getting like max 5 snaps a game. What do we bring him in for? Just for the playoffs? How are you going to get reps to get ready if you're not coming in at all? We're getting no pressure in on the front four, just like Sean said. The blitzes are where we're getting burned. What's the point of that?
What's the point of what?
What's the point of bringing in
Having
Joshua
brought in
Uche? And what's
Chris
the
Oh,
Uche and
like
not
what's
playing
I
the
don't know.
him,
I
point
just
if
think
you're
I
not going to
think
play him?
doing
What's the
exactly
point of
what the
running the
Patriots did is wasting him.
yeah,
like
I
you're
think what maybe the Chiefs realized something that the Patriots did. Maybe there's something wrong internally there. We don't really know. Maybe we're not there in the locker room every day. We don't know what Josh Uche is doing day in and day out. What his interactions are like with people in the building. So, it might not just be ooh, I'm better than this guy, I'm playing over him, or I'm not better than this guy, I'm not playing over him. Um, Also, too, though, I think Spags runs, a certain type of defense that if you don't have every part of it running as good as it can, as in like getting pressure to the quarterback, playing fucking in your hip pocket man defense when we bring pressure and like hard pressed run defense, like it's not gonna work. And right now you aren't getting pressure to the quarterback when you blitz or just with your front four to begin with. And that's throwing off the rest of your defense. It's negatively affecting how the rest of your defense operates. And I don't know if it's a Spags thing. I don't know if your players just aren't performing as well, if they're just not getting it done where in previous years they were able to. So, or maybe it's just a mid to late season. What is this, like the third quarter of the season technically right now? We would say, right? Or is this the fourth quarter of the season?
Late
third.
third.
late third. Maybe it's just like a late third quarter slump. Maybe they're just
And
having a little bit of
Which
slump. They're just
they
I
do
not
this
playing to
honestly,
every
their
year.
potential.
They do this
yeah,
every year.
I honestly
Exactly.
think
So
that
like,
the Chiefs team has this Chiefs team has that
you
tendency
know,
to
dude, it's
slump.
hard to play perfect football for a whole season. The season's 18 fucking weeks.
Well,
You done
sorry for
anything
expecting it.
perfectly for 18 weeks in a row?
We had an early bye too, so the season's certainly dragging
Yeah,
on.
like this is a long season. You're gonna play 3 games in 10 days. Like honestly, expect more of these close games. I'm not saying that the Raiders are gonna beat you, but this is the gauntlet part of your
That's
season.
all we do.
I don't,
Is
and
close
here's the
games.
thing. I don't really mind the close games when they're expected. This is not every team who has beat the Panthers has blown them out by double
Well,
digits.
yeah,
More than
yeah. If you guys
this
lose
is
that
not the
game, that's
team.
you guys
And,
blew the
and
game. The Panthers didn't beat you. You blew the game.
exactly. So
Yeah.
apologies for being a little bit critical, Tommy, when
Oh, that's
yes,
fair.
we're 10-1 and yes, we
I'm
understand that the
just
Raiders are bad and you're a
I'm
fan
just
of a
trying to
bad
point
team,
out
but
some
like
stuff that like
you're
other
supposed to blow this
teams are
up.
probably
Oh,
taking
you
note
got
of.
me, dude. I'm a fan of a bad team.
I'm just trying to point out stuff that other teams could easily be taking note of and take advantage of later
Yes.
on in the season if they're not corrected. If
Yeah.
they're problems that persist, we might have some problems later on. And the other thing I wanted to talk about on the offensive side was the we know we got our guys in the middle three, right? And we know that supposedly left tackle we might have a different answer than Wanya Morris, DJ Humphries. We brought him in,
Trey
blah blah
was
blah.
getting a little work this week against the
Yeah,
Panthers.
there was pressure coming from up the middle. The pass blocking from the front three was not what, or
Second
from the
time
middle
this
three
season.
was not what it normally is. And I think it wasn't great against the Bills either. I think defensive tackles have um, had success against us the past 2 weeks, and so if that problem persists, if we if our big three up front start to crack a little bit, we're in some trouble because that is the heart and soul of what we do in anything on offense, passing or rushing the football.
Yeah, Trey Smith has not looked good. I will say that the Joe Tooney, I think, is the number one ranked guard in the league. He's led up the least amount of pressures, quarterback hits, and sacks. I think 0 sacks this season. He's led up the least amount of quarterback pressures this season so far. Trey Smith was
The
absolutely getting
oldest of the
worked.
three too, so I mean, kudos to him.
Trey Smith was getting absolutely worked by that interior defensive line all game, but so was Jawan Taylor, and obviously so was Wanya Morris. Now Wanya Morris, I think we're going to have that one fixed. It sounds like DJ Humphries, the new Chiefs left tackle, is expected to be the starter this upcoming week against the Raiders. So
Can
that
anybody give me
should
some
help out.
history on him? I'm
Former All-Pro left tackle for the Arizona Cardinals tore his ACL and was out for the rest of the year last year. Medically cleared though to play, so he should be good to go.
Yep. I think in the snaps that he did play last season, and they compared his statistics to Wanya Morris's statistics this year. I think DJ Humphries had played double the amount of snaps by the time that he had torn his ACL, Achilles, whatever it was. He had played double the snaps, but had given up half the amount of pressures that Wanya Morris has so far this season. So we know that DJ Humphries is good. He's played all of his career as a Cardinal, I believe. Um, I think he's very good, very good. Happy to have him. If he had not been injured last season, there's no way that he would have been a Kansas City Chief at this point. He would have garnered too much money from anyone else, and so we've gotten very lucky that he's coming in.
that's
Should
We have a
clear up
habit
that
of
mark.
doing that.
Should clear up that mark because then we can obviously provide additional help to Jawan Taylor, who I had thought had, by every statistical measurement, he had played fairly well this season up into the last couple of weeks. And over the last couple of weeks, he has statistically been one of the worst offensive linemen in the game, allowing the most pressures, the most QB hits, and the most sacks out of any right tackle in the league over the last 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, the best pass rushers are going to be on the edge. So I get pressure coming from against our tackles every now and then, but
But 5 sacks against the worst
yeah.
defensive line in the league. Not just like
And it
by my
wasn't all
thought. They
coming
have
off
the
the edge.
worst.
That's what I'm yeah.
Exactly. They had the worst pressure rate out of any defensive line in the entire league coming into that game, and they ended up with 5 sacks. Now, I will say a positive note on this. I'm happy that Patrick Mahomes has learned to take the sacks. May seem like a bad thing, but earlier on in the season, he was just throwing the damn ball with his eyes closed, and that's how he ended up with more interceptions than he did touchdowns for the first half of the season. He's now learned to take those sacks, live for another
He's
day,
definitely cleaned up
and
the picks.
it's helped out quite a bit. Part of those sacks,
Other than
again,
that, the decision right off the bat against the Bills that really made me want to like flick him in his Adam's apple or something. Like
the
you
sacks
know.
are going to all go down as a quarterback stat. It's something we talked about last week. That's something that he could clean up a little bit on his end, is just throwing the ball away a little bit more often instead of taking the sack and putting us in third and a county mile. But I'd much rather take those than give up the interceptions that he was giving up in the first half of the season.
It's fair. It's fair. DJ Humphries, by the way, has played all let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like his whole career has been at Arizona. He was a rookie in
Thanks for counting it out for
2015.
us.
He was a Pro Bowler in 2021 and a freshman All-American in 2012. He also
That's
enrolled early in January of 2012 to Georgia. He played at Georgia. Or no, sorry, not Georgia. Florida. My bad. Florida.
nice.
Yeah, Florida.
Thank you.
So he's smart too. That means he's
Appreciate it.
smart. Yeah, so but he's also got 98 starts in 98 games played. That means this motherfucker's not a relief pitcher. So if he ain't starting, he ain't playing. Which is why he did not play this week, I bet. Because they were like, we can't start him yet. And he ain't a relief pitcher, so we'll start him next week.
I think we also signed him on like Saturday. Is that right,
That's
Sean?
fair.
Friday or Saturday, yeah.
Oh, well, that too.
Right. Sean, one of the things a lot of people have been talking about is how poorly the DBs have been playing over the last couple of weeks, and I thought obviously a lot of the issues that we're seeing are coming from not getting pressure to the quarterback. But one of the things I saw this week is not a DB issue. In fact, they look like they were in the hip pockets of every single wide receiver on every single pass, and Bryce Young has turned into an all pro all of a sudden. Like, dude's just fitting it into tight spots. And these receivers have also turned into all pros, apparently. Like, Trent McDuffie is out there getting mossed on. And that's not something that happens very often. But
Don't
what in the world is
disrespect
going
Adam
on with these
Thielen.
DBs?
Don't disrespect Adam Thielen.
I'm disrespecting Adam Thielen.
Wow, what a fucking hater.
What was the question there?
What are you seeing out there with the DBs? Like,
I'm seeing Adam Thielen cook your fucking defensive backfield. That's what I saw. So
I'm seeing it's
I would respect him
week
if I were
12.
you.
It's week 12. They're just tired. They need a break.
Yeah, bro, it's
They've
hard
had
to
a-
play lights out defense for fucking 18 weeks, 17 weeks. It's
Can
fucking
can
hard.
we give it up to the Panthers, let them have a good game, and we still win?
I'm
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
saying, are we seeing improvements
like
over
Eagles
the
fans
last
right
couple of
now.
weeks? Because again,
sky
the
is falling
receivers
for
just
you.
had fantastic games. I'm saying that I think our DBs were playing well comparatively over the last couple of weeks. You're a guy who very much watches the DBs. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yes, I am seeing the same thing. They're playing really well.
I hate you
I don't know
guys.
what you're going for here, man. Yes, I agree with
I'm
you.
trying to get you involved in the show, Sean. Come
Oh
on,
my god.
give me
Yeah,
something out here.
You didn't have to drag it out to that.
Speak, damn it.
Both you
Say
guys are getting
something.
fine.
Go for it. Find me.
I did.
We gotta start finding Sean for not talking.
Hey, man, I was in the car and I
Let's just-
was trying to watch this game. I missed half of it, so
Excuses.
I watched
are
what I could.
buttholes.
Yeah.
I watched what I could.
You can always go back and look at like highlights.
Yeah, but somebody had to drive you to the airport at 5:30 in the morning, so someone was a little tired.
That- all right.
Interesting. Mm.
Sounds like our defensive line just coming up with excuses.
Ooh, how about your offensive line? He's just old. It's okay. Trey Smith, old guy.
He's not that old.
He's on his rookie contract. Shut the fuck up, Tommy.
big old guy. Everyone's just old.
I mean, of all the weak points that I've tried, like we've pointed out, I think the one that's probably got the best possibility to turn it around would be Trey Smith. We know the caliber of play that he can bring to the table, and I don't expect to see him being an issue going forward.
And he's more of a run blocker than he is a pass blocker. So we just have to get where I think what we could really develop a little bit better here is running more play action. Stop with the RPOs. Let's start doing some naked bootlegs. Let's do some
I've been
RP.
saying
Let's
play
do some
action
play
for
actions because especially when you got a guy
weeks.
like Kareem Hunt back there. Play action is going to drop those safeties down. That's one thing that I don't like about the RPOs is it doesn't allow enough time for the safeties to actually drop down. It allows enough time to stop them in their feet and get a short pass to the outside, and that's really about it. Or you're just going to run it. Like the play actions do allow for those guys to come down and hit them over the backside. Hit the play action, Andy. Come on.
Well,
Have
and
we
then
seen Andy do that in the past few years though? Consistently
No,
enough?
I don't
So
care. I
I'm
want to
not
see
expecting
it.
that. I want to see it too, but it's not going to happen.
I also
Uh,
think for the healthy dose of run blocking, I think is it's a we stay with that. But another way to get him involved if he's having issues with pass blocking is throw some screens where he's one of the guys that has to pull
yep.
out and block down the field because he's great at that.
Fantastic.
He's
He's a bulldozer out
he's
there.
One of the
dynamic.
best. It's one of the best things that I've ever seen on a football field is just Trey Smith going out on a screen and just demolishing about four guys.
So if that means like tunnel screens and like screens to tight ends and other people besides a running back, that's fine. But let's get Trey Smith involved in the screen game so that he's not always pass blocking and getting bored, and just keep
His body really craves contact more than anybody
keep
else's.
the nose to the
There
grindstone
you
with the run
go.
game.
Just fucking pass block. It's not that. God.
He wants to hit somebody, man.
Blocking is all desire. Blocking is mostly desire.
Pass
He just didn't
blocking
want
is
to do it.
way harder
He was
than
fucking tired.
run
Did not
blocking.
want to do it.
It's the
I'm not-
Panthers. They were thinking it's the worst defensive line in the league. What are they going to do? Sack Patrick?
I don't know though. Like
They
internally,
did.
like yeah.
5 times.
They were like on the fifth time, like they're not going to do it again. What the game
He was
is,
tired. Maybe he
couldn't
was
do
sick.
anything.
Maybe
And the
maybe he had
Panthers-
some bad sushi the night
And the
before.
Panthers
Maybe
were
he's
Booker
hungover.
T at the end of it. 5 times. 5 times.
I don't know. He just had an off day.
5 times WCW champion.
Too many wrestling call outs here. Did you guys have any plays or
What?
players of the game? I got nothing.
What?
What?
Talking to me? What?
All right. Well, we take the Raiders on during Black Friday.
What? Okay.
Second time we're gonna get to see them. That'll be coming out later on this week, right before Thanksgiving. Maybe we'll get a Tybo's top 5 Thanksgiving theme again this year. We
Not
usually do.
Thanksgiving themed, but maybe. Well, then
We need
it's
one.
If
We
you
need
need a
one.
Thanksgiving themed one, I have to do two because
Yeah,
I've
you're
already-
doing two. You're doing a Thanksgiving themed
How
one and a
about do
regular
your
one.
job, Content King Tybo?
dude.
Yeah.
I
How
You don't
how
have a
about-
lot to
how about-
fucking do here.
You're gonna
okay?
sit out here and call out Trey Smith for not doing his
Make
job.
a
I'm gonna sit out here and
list.
call you out for not doing
and
yours.
check it twice.
No, you're not fucking Santa. Just make a goddamn list, okay?
Make 2 lists.
Yes.
Like it
And
twice
tell us what
each.
they are on the next show. Do that.
Shows. We're gonna split them up.
Shows. Yeah, we'll split them up.
Yeah.
So you got to watch the Chiefs
You gotta watch
pregame
both
and
shows.
the
At-
NFL Week 13
At Bob and Bo Show.
at
on
Bob
all
and Bo Show.
platforms.
Subscribe, like,
Comment, actually. Definitely put a comment on
comment.
that.
Yeah, comment on what Tybo should make a list of for his non-Thanksgiving one. For his second one, comment on what his list should be.
No, I've already
Until next
decided.
time,
All right.
go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
What?
No. No.